Good morning, Stampers. Welcome to the first day of a brand new mini catalog and celebration brochure. I'm so excited. Got lots to share with you today. I am just going to update my iPad. Be sure to say hi when you join in so I know who's watching, whether you're watching live or the replay. Okay, let's see here. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now I can see your comments. All right, so first up, I am going to draw for the winner of the December 20th Facebook Live project, which was this cute little Valentine's card. You can always go back and watch the replays or watch the videos on YouTube. Amy T, so she's the winner. I will pop that in the mail for her. All right, now I'm gonna flip the camera around because I've got a ton to share with you today. All right, just bear with me for just a second. Okay, and I'm gonna apologize in advance. I'm just getting over a little bit of a cold. So if I sniffle lots or have to stop to blow my nose, I apologize. Okay, let's see here. All right, that's not too bad. All right, so I wanted to cover a little bit. Hey, Kevin, you're watching live, yay. Okay, so I wanted to cover a little bit about the new brochures that just went live today. Because this is set up, this mini catalog, first of all, the name has changed. It is now called the January to June 2020 mini catalog instead of the occasions catalog. And you'll notice that it's a different format. So instead of being a portrait, it's landscape. So it still opens like a regular book, it's just landscape format rather than portrait format. Good morning, Susan. So I wanted to go over a few of the different some of the other changes about this catalog just to point them out because it might be something that you might, hey Karen, it might be something that you may not have noticed. So I wanted to point these things out. Okay, so I covered the name change. Now if you look on pages 3 to 7, these pages, they're calling it the bundle section. So it provides a quick reference for coordination, convenience, and savings because our bundles are always 10% off in the very first publication that they're listed in. So you'll definitely want to check that out because that will save you a bit of money. Okay, so there's that. And then if we flip to the back of the catalog on pages 69 to 71, there is a catalog at a glance index. So this is something that they haven't done before, or not that I can remember anyways, and it provides a visual reference with information about each product. So if you're looking for something really quickly, you can't remember where to find it in the catalog, you can look under paper, you can find Tropical DSP, it's on page 39. And then that will take you to where you can find out what colors coordinate and that type of thing, okay? And then on pages 62 to 67, here, we've got additional project ideas for kits, suites, and bundles. So these first two pages, these are additional additional samples for some of the kits that you can find in the catalog, throughout the catalog. And then here, additional samples that you can find using the suites. And then here, this is, I believe this is for bundles. So it mixes in additional products, okay? So that is a nice new feature as well. Yes, the catalog at a glance feature is gonna be really handy. I agree with you, Mary. And then if we flip back to page 13, well, actually, I should point out that in the catalog, there is this logo. It says make it simple. So this catalog is really geared towards avid stampers, so people who stamp quite a bit. If you look at the samples, a lot of the samples are really quite nice and can be a little bit more involved. But they have featured some samples throughout the catalog with this make it simple logo or icon. So you'll find those throughout the catalog, and those samples are meant for casual stampers or maybe new stampers. Okay, so I wanted to point those things out in that catalog. I'm sure you all have it. If you do not have a physical copy, you're in Canada and you don't already have a demonstrator, just let me know and I'd be happy to pop one in the mail for you. Okay, so we've got that one. And then also the celebration brochure went live today as well. So celebration is our biggest promotion of the year. And this is where you can earn free product. And there's 3 different ways that you can earn free product. First of all, by purchasing. For every $60 that you spend during celebration, which runs until the end of March, you can choose something out of here for free. And there's 2 levels. So for every $60 you can choose something, and for every $120 there's additional items that you can choose. And those are indicated by these little starbursts. So free with the 60 is the rich raspberry color, and then the Poppy Parade is free with 120. Okay, and there are no limits. Okay, so that's how you can take advantage of celebration during or by shopping. And then by hosting, this is something that they've never done before, is they have an exclusive host set. It's called the Little Ladybug. It is an adorable stamp set. And you can earn this stamp set for free by hosting a party or by spending over $375. You can earn this exclusive stamp set absolutely free. And that's in addition to the other Stampin' Rewards that you would earn with an order of that size. Okay, so that is hosting. And then joining. Now, if you guys come to my events, you know that the starter kit is the best deal in the catalog. It always is, but during celebration, they make it even sweeter. And this celebration, what they've done is you can choose your regular starter kit. It's customizable, so you can choose anything from the annual or mini catalogs, except celebration stamp sets and host sets. So you can choose anything out of those catalogs, and you get to choose $165 worth of product. You pay only $135. You do not pay shipping, you do not pay tax. And in addition to that, so that's just the regular starter kit. That's all year long, you can take advantage of that. But during celebration, so until the end of March, you will also receive this adorable little guillotine style trimmer. So this is a new mini paper cutter, and a 6x6 designer series paper sampler. So you get 4 of each of these sheets, and it's just a little sampling of some of the papers that are in the mini catalog and the celebration brochure. So you'll get 2 or 4 of each of these 2 patterns, and then the back sides. You'll get 4 of each of these, and then here's the back sides. 4 of each of these. 4 of each of these, and these ones, and these ones. I love this paper, love it. Okay, and in addition to that, you also get to choose your choice of any stamp set offered in any of the current catalogs. That excludes, again, host sets and celebration sets. And that can be of any value. So that is an incredible value added to the already incredible valued starter kit. Okay, I've already had one person jump at this opportunity this morning. I'm sure many more of you will do it before the end of March. But the sooner you take advantage of it, then you get to take advantage of purchasing and getting all those free products as well. And you get a discount. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna get started. We're gonna go into the crafty stuff now that I've covered everything. Kevin says, you absolutely want the Ladybug stamp set. Yes, it is so adorable. And just a little, actually I probably shouldn't share. I'm not 100% sure that I can share yet. Actually, I think I can. Just to let you know, there are dies that are coming out that will coordinate with that Ladybug set as well. Okay, all right, so we are going to use some product from the celebration catalog today. I'm going to make 2 projects. I am using the Lily Impressions Designer Series paper. So this is the paper here. And remember I said that you get 4 sheets of each of 2 of these patterns in the kit. So you can see I've already used quite a bit of it. This is all I have left of this one pattern. Let me flip it over to show you the other side. So super fun, and the 2 sides are very, very different. Very different. So I love this pattern paper, and I've been using it actually a lot more than I thought I would. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. And then we are also going to use the coordinating lovely lily pad stamp set and the lily pad dies. So all 3 of these products are in the celebration brochure. The DSP and the stamp set you can earn with each with a $60 purchase. So the stamp set with a $60 purchase, if you spend $120, you can get the stamp set and the DSP. And then the lily pad dies you can pick up with a $120 purchase. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The first project we're gonna do is this one here. So this is just a little note card. Note cards are always my go-to when I'm looking for a quick and easy idea because everything is cut and scored for you. So this is one of our Whispered White note cards and envelopes. You could buy a set of 20 of them. They come pre-cut and scored, and you get envelopes as well. They're a little bit smaller than a standard size card. Okay, and then I've got a piece of Whispered White cardstock that I didn't write down any measurements. I believe this is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and then Garden Green cardstock that measures 2 7/8 by 4 3/8. It's just slightly larger, okay? And we are going to use 2 dies from the Lily Pad dies. We're going to use this guy right here and this guy right here. So I'm gonna pull in my Big Shot and we'll cut those out. Yes, Susan said the Ladybug dies and 3 others are available to order right now. And she got the birthday cake ones. Yes, they're available to demonstrators, but they are not available to customers at the moment. They will be available in February, I believe, to customers. Okay. So that's another perk to being a demonstrator is you can purchase all those things before everybody else. There's so many perks to being a demonstrator. Okay, so I'm going to line that up just like that. Actually, I'm gonna do this separately. Just wanna make sure that I have enough space. So I'm gonna run through the stem first, the stem with the leaves. And then pop that out. And then I'm gonna run through the flower, and I'm gonna get it close, but I don't want it too close. I don't want it to separate the, looking at this at an angle, I'm hoping it's straight. So I'm making sure that it's not overlapping. I want there to be just a little bit of white space in between. Okay, and then I'm gonna run this through. Now this card was inspired by something that I saw online. She created this little, almost like a peekaboo card. You'll see how we do that in a minute. Let's just get this out of the way. So her card looked a little different. So this is what it looks like right now, which doesn't look like much. I'm gonna poke this out. This piece we want to keep. These leftover pieces that were in between here, we don't need to keep those, and we don't need to keep this. We can save this for another project, okay? So now I've got some of that Lily Pad DSP, and I've got these 2 patterns. This is gonna be for my flower, and this is gonna be for my stem. So I'm going to put this in the back here, and what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna put this on here and use a pencil and just trace that so I can cut that out. Okay, so I'm just going to trace this like this and then just cut that out so that that doesn't peek behind or peek through for my flower. Okay, So now I'll add a little bit of adhesive behind here and attach the two. Ooh, that's a lot of adhesive. Okay, so I'm gonna line this up. Oh, I guess we gotta go higher up, right? Am I still in? Oh yeah, I'm still in camera. I cover those leaves. So just like that. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more adhesive. So I'm just using scraps of that DSP. I think they're both about 2 inches wide. And I think the green one was about 2.5 inches. And the pink one is 2 by 2, I believe. Okay, so then I flip it over. Oh my gosh, what happened here? Okay, let's straighten this so that my DSP pattern is straight. Okay, and then we're gonna take this and we're gonna stick this back on, and that gives us the added detail. So I'm gonna use that little trick that I shared a couple of Facebook Lives ago, where I put a little bit of glue on my mat and then just add it here. And this is just like our silicone mat. I just decided to use that one for my glue. It's one that I had picked up years and years ago before Stampin' Up! Carried a silicone mat. So that one's going to be for my glue only. That way I can save my other ones for other things. All right, so now we've got that. And then this is going to get attached to our green layer. Hey, Shauna. So I'm just adding a little bit of Tombow to the back of that. That's gonna go in the center here. And I cut it just large enough so I'd have about 1/16 of an inch all the way around the edges. So just like that. And then this is going to go onto my note card. Just trying to get caught up. Mary says beautiful effect with the DSP underneath. I know, it's a nice touch, hey? I haven't done this in months, so I was happy to see a project done with it to remind me that it could be done. Sometimes you forget about things. There's so many great techniques and things that you can do out there. Let's see here. Kevin says, not that there isn't enough in a pack of sponges that you can cut them into hundreds of pieces, but do you wash yours out? No, so this one will be used for adhesive only, obviously. And then my other ones, I usually have one for like greens and one for blues, one for kind of turquoisey colors, you know, one for oranges, one for yellows. And if I find that, like if I'm using maybe, if my blue sponge is mostly navy and I want to use a lighter blue, then I'll just start another one. So I don't bother washing them out. You could just definitely wash them out and reuse them, but I just keep them for those colors. I know some people have a different sponge for every color, and then you can just staple a piece of a colored cardstock on the back so that you know what color it's for. Susan asked, are you using Tombow more than snail now? Yes. You know what? If I'm honest, and I'm always honest, if you ask me an opinion, I will tell you how I feel. In Alberta, I find that snail does not hold over any length of time. I don't know if it's just because we've got such a dry climate. I find when I use snail, my projects don't stay together. Maybe I just wasn't using enough of it. I'm not sure. So I love Fast Fuse, but I'm running low on my Fast Fuse refills. So I've been saving that just for scrapbooking. And then Tombow is my go-to because I know my projects are not going to fall apart with using Tombow. That's my biggest fear, is I give a card to somebody or a project to somebody and then have it fall apart. That doesn't look very good, does it? So, I mean, that's just my personal preference. Like I said, maybe it was just something that I just don't use enough of. Maybe I was being too stingy with this snail. Maybe I just need to use more. I'm not sure. But I find in our climate, I just found that would just dry out and then like panels would pop off. Things would start popping off my cards. Okay, all right, so now we've got the base, the focal point of our card. Now I'm using some new ribbon. This is Whisper White, what is it called? Crinkled Seam Binding ribbon. And this is in the mini catalog. It is part of the Peaceful Poppies suite. The Poppy suite, I don't know if that's Peaceful Poppies, I can't remember. So I've gone ahead and I've tied a bow using that ribbon. And this ribbon, by the way, looks beautiful when you stamp on it. And you can color it whatever color you want. Okay, so I'm gonna use a mini glue dot. Just use my paper piercer to pull that off. Stick that right on there. And you know what? I probably should have done my stamping before I stuck that on there, but let's see if it'll work. Okay, and then I am using a greeting from the Peaceful Moments stamp set. I'm gonna use this happy birthday greeting. But you'll see if I pull that out, actually it might fit. Yeah, it does fit whole on here, but I'm gonna do it, I wanted to add a bit of dimension. So I'm gonna do it like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my black Stampin' Write marker and I'm going to ink up just the happy. And when you use your markers on your stamps, you'll see that I'm using the side of the marker. I'm not using the tip, so I'm using the side. And that just prolongs the length of your markers and helps prevent it from fraying, the tip of the marker from fraying. So I'll give that a little huff, and then that's going to stamp right on there. And then I'm going to clean it. Grab my chamois. So I'm going to clean that off. Make sure all that black residue is gone. And then what I like to do is I like to take a scrap. I'll just huff on it and just stamp it a couple times just to make sure that there's no ghosting. I find when you use your chamois, I find there's less of that than there is with the old stamp cleaner. Okay, so now I've got a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to ink up just the birthday. Just like that. And then I'll give it a huff. And I'm going to stamp this down onto the end of the scrap. Perfect. And then I'm going to pull in my new mini paper cutter and trim this down. This is perfect because it doesn't take up a ton of space on your desk. I love it. Amy says, when I use a marker to color stamps, it doesn't stamp nicely. Okay, here's what I have found, Amy. I have found that with red rubber stamps, they stamp beautifully. And as long as you give them a huff and then stamp them down, because the huffing re-moistens the ink. I find with photopolymer, I don't have as much success. The ink almost doesn't want to adhere to the photopolymer stamp like it does to red rubber. So I try to avoid doing it coloring with markers on photopolymer. So I'm not sure if you're having a problem on both of them or on just photopolymer. But I do find that it works really well. Just remember that huffing technique. So use your marker on it and then give it a little huff. So just breathe on it and then stamp it down and it should work out nicely. Okay, so now I've got that, and that is going to get popped up using dimensionals. And then you'll see on the sample up here that I've tucked in a couple extra leaves. So what I like to do when I start playing with a product is I like to have a look at what I've got in colors that coordinate. And we have this cute little leaf ribbon, and it's in garden green. And so I thought, you know what? I'm gonna cut a couple leaves off of that and tuck them in here just for a bit of added texture. So I'm just trimming off the leaves. So I'm just trimming those off, just like that. And then I will use a mini glue dot to stick them on. So let's see. So I'm just sticking them right on here. Put them together, and then I'll pick off that mini glue dot and tuck it underneath. Happy New Year to you too, Amy. Happy New Year, Donna. There we go. Isn't that cute? Super cute card. That's gonna be a great birthday card for someone. Okay, and then we've got one more that we're gonna make. So we're gonna just do a slightly different version of this. So I made a few of these cards for new team members and people who decide to join during celebration. And so I really love this design. It's such a simple design. And so I'm gonna make it into a thank you card for you guys today. So we're gonna use the same design. We're just gonna change out the greeting to a thank you card. So this is the inside of the card here. So I stamped a little flower and then love it, live it, share it on the inside. All right. Okay, so I'm starting with a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock. So this is just half a sheet of 8.5 by 11. So it measures 5.5 by 8.5. And I had a bone folder here. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Make it nice and crisp. The greeting comes from a stamp set. Just give me a second, I'll pull it out for you. It is a stamp set that is available to demonstrators only as a supply item, Kevin. It's called Stamping Your Way to the Top. So it's got welcome to your welcome to the team, your way to the top, love it, live it, share it, making dreams come true, it's the best job ever, way better than a text. And then you've got happy stamping, happy mail, handmade by your biggest cheerleader, and what a dazzling demonstrator. So this is a great stamp set if you're a demonstrator and if you want to make cards for your team. Okay, so we've got our card base. Happy New Year to you too, Elaine. All right, so I've got some pieces here. This piece is a piece of that same Lily DSP that you can earn for free with a $60 purchase. It measures 3 inches by 5.5 inches, and this is just gonna go down the center of my card base. And with Tombow, you need very, very little, and it will adhere nicely. Okay, so that's just gonna go down the center just like that. And then I gotta do some, actually let's do a bit more stamping here first. Okay, so I'm going to choose this image from the lovely Lily Pad stamp set and some Melon Mambo ink. I'm going to stamp on Melon Mambo cardstock. Amy, we're just doing 2 cards today. So this is the second card. This was the first one here. And then the second one. I talked a little bit about the differences in the occasions catalog and some of the benefits of celebration before we got started. Okay, so I'm gonna stamp one there. I'm gonna stamp one on the envelope as well, because if you've got your stamps out, you might as well stamp a coordinating envelope. And then I already had an extra one where I had stamped my inside layer. So this piece of white measures 4 by 5 1/4, and I had already stamped one of those flowers in Melon Mambo on the inside. Okay, and then we might as well do all of our stamping now. And then I'm going to take out, I'm gonna try the thank you from the Peaceful Moments stamp set. So that's the same stamp set that I got the happy birthday greeting from for the other card. But you'll see that, oh, it will fit on there. Okay, I was going to stamp it on 2 different lines, but it will fit on in the 2-inch circle punch. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stamp it. We're gonna use some Blackberry Bliss ink. that down. So did anybody do anything fun for New Year's? And then I'm going to take my 2-inch circle punch and punch that out. And, okay. And then what I've already done is I have used the Painted Labels dies, which are also in the mini catalog. They're part of that Poppy suite. I used this image, or that die, to cut this out. I love this. Love it. You know, I think you're gonna see me using that over and over and over again. Okay, so I've gone ahead and pre-cut that. This is going to get attached to the center, but first we need to do some die cutting. So I'm going to, again, pull in my lily pad dies, which are free in the celebration brochure with a $120 purchase. So that's going to cut that out. And then I'm going to use this little image here and cut that out of the Old Olive. So I'll bring back my Big Shot. Are you at the airport, Barb? Barb is leaving on a 5-week vacation, I believe. I think that's how long it is. Nice. So envious. She's gonna have a fabulous time. Okay, so we are going to cut this guy out of there, and then this one out of here. Now, I know that a lot of people, well, actually everyone who has a magnetic platform probably experiences this. Sometimes your dies pull, or the magnets pull your dies where you don't want them to go. You can use washi tape to hold them in place, but I find if I have room on the platform, I just move my cardstock to where they aren't pulling. And I find that helps. How was your cruise, Kevin? Because you just got back from a holiday too, didn't you? Okay, so I've got my little piece there, and then my flower. Okay, so we've got those and this, so we'll pull these in. I'm just gonna stick this flat on here. Just like that. It covers up that little bit of stitching, but that's okay. Don't need to have stitching all the time, right? Okay, and then I'm gonna use a little mini glue dot. Just stick that on the back of the flower, and then add this on here. Add a little bit of glue to the back of this. Stick that on there. And then we'll pull in our card base, flip this over. We're going to add some dimensionals to the back. I'm happy to enable you, Shauna. You know what, I love these products, and it's almost like it's a whole mini suite that's in the celebration brochure with all this stuff that coordinates, and you can earn it all for free. It's fabulous. Okay, so now we're going to stick that on here just like this, and then the other celebration product that matches this suite is there's some sequins and baker's twine. It's a combination of products. So these colors also coordinate with the colors that are in that DSP. So I thought it would be nice to pull in some sequins on here. So I'm gonna add 3 little dots of glue, and we're gonna add 3 little sequins. So there's so much that all coordinates in this little collection. Just add a big one and a little one. And then I'll do another big one up here. So I could have used yellow. There's also orange in this DSP, so I could have used the orange. I think it's coral that's in the DSP, but I could have used that. And if I used a patterned paper, one of the patterns that had more blue in it, I could have used the blue in there as well. So there we go. So there's the two versions of the cards. I do think I prefer it with a larger greeting rather than just on one line. But they both look good. And then here's the first card that we made. There we go. Oh, we have to put the insert in. Let's do that. Okay, so then our white piece is just gonna go on the inside of the card, and I also forgot to stamp my inside greeting on the birthday card. I always forget to do the insides when I'm with you guys. Okay, let's go back to this one. That one, this was the one that we made, and we're gonna stamp the birthday greeting. So in that same Peaceful Moment stamp set, there is a greeting that says, wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. So we're just gonna stamp that using our black Memento ink. And just right in the center. There we go. Let's see, is there a greeting that goes with the thank you? You shouldn't have, but I'm glad you did. I think I'll just leave it blank. Okay, all right. There we go. Wait, Kevin says, wait, I missed something. Which set of dies is the swirly piece from? That is from the Painted Labels dies. That is it's one of the die sets that is part of the Poppy Suite in the mini catalog. Yeah, the color combo is really pretty. I don't use Blackberry Bliss enough. Blackberry Bliss is such a pretty color, and I really need to use it more often. Purples tend not to be colors that I go to, but Blackberry Bliss is such a deep, rich color. Like it's a beautiful color. Let's see here. Fort Lauderdale were fantastic. Oh, good. I'm glad you had a good time, Kevin. All right. So that's it for today. If there is anything that you guys want to purchase, feel free to visit my website. And if you used this host code, I will send you a little gift in the mail with your thank you card. But remember that if your order is over $200, don't use the host code because you want to get those Stampin' Rewards yourself. Okay? Yes, Amy, this is a note card size. That's right. Okay, so thanks so much. We'll see you guys next Friday. Unless you are over on my VIP page, then you'll see me on Tuesday evening. All right, have a fabulous weekend, guys. Take care.